It was early morning when I noticed Karen prowling near my mailbox. She had been complaining about my moving things without notice, and today she had escalated matters to calling the cops because I had shifted my ranch mailbox 3 feet forward. Apparently, in her mind, minor adjustments on my own property required HOA approval. What she didn't know was that moving the mailbox was entirely legal and that her actions were about to backfire spectacularly. From my security cameras, I watched her approach the mailbox with an air of authority, waving her phone as if she were summoning reinforcements. She called 911, claiming interference with community standards, insisting that the local authorities needed to step in immediately. My team was already monitoring her and recording everything, preparing for the inevitable confrontation. I activated the ranch PA system. "Karen, you are trespassing and harassing the property owner. The mailbox adjustment is legal and within property rights. Leave immediately, or legal action will follow." Karen ignored the warning. She stomped around the area, waving her phone, ranting about HOA rules and illegal property alterations. Neighbors peered over their fences, shocked at her audacity. She seemed utterly unaware that this small act of defiance had triggered a series of consequences she could not control. Minutes later, deputies arrived on site, prompted by her own 911 call. They were met with an unusual scene. Karen, acting as the self-appointed enforcer of HOA rules, arguing aggressively over a mailbox. I stepped outside calmly, documents in hand, showing proof that the mailbox location was entirely legal, fully compliant with property codes, and on my own land. "Ma'am," one deputy said, "your claims are unfounded. This is private property. Any further harassment or trespassing will be documented and may result in arrest. Step back immediately." Karen sputtered, trying to justify her behavior. The HOA has no authority over private property boundaries," I interrupted. "You are trespassing and interfering with lawful property rights. Any further attempts will be considered harassment and trespassing." The deputies documented every interaction. Security footage captured her approach, her threats, and her phone calls. My own documentation of the mailbox placement, including GPS coordinates and property surveys, created an airtight record. Karen's plan had completely collapsed. The HOA board was notified immediately. Karen had created a paper trail of harassment, trespassing, and abuse of 911 for personal vendettas. Her privileges within the HOA were permanently revoked, and she faced potential civil liability for her actions. Neighbors who had witnessed the incident were stunned at the extent of her audacity, and equally impressed at the swift resolution and legal protection in place. By the end of the day, the mailbox stood perfectly positioned on my property. Karen had been humiliated, and my legal and security systems had reinforced the boundaries that no overzealous HOA member could cross. The incident served as yet another lesson that overstepping boundaries comes with immediate, unavoidable consequences. Karen had thought calling the cops over a mailbox would assert HOA control. Instead, she triggered law enforcement documentation, public embarrassment, and permanent revocation of HOA authority, all while my property remained fully protected. Karen tried to manipulate HOA rules to enforce a trivial change on my property. Instead, she faced humiliation, legal consequences, and permanent loss of HOA privileges, proving once again that rogue HOA members cannot interfere with private property without repercussions.